when people ask me about like how do you network and whatnot, they go. I feel like they go about it wrong, because networking starts at a point. For example, if we're talking about it on the internet, like, you know, those graphics that you see, like the dots connect to each other, a lot of people don't realize that the dot is the network as well. So you are also somebody that can be connected through someone else, if that makes sense.
Okay, hold on. Throw the dots back. What?
So, so
Like
you,
figuratively speaking, connected the
no,
dots,
you know
or
those
like a.
you know those pictures or
Uh-huh.
those graphics like of the globe, and then they have like different dots everywhere, and then everything connects to each other
Okay,
to symbolize networking.
I got you. I got you.
A
I
lot
got
of
you.
people, they don't think of themselves as the dot. They think of themselves as the line to somebody else's dot to network.
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. I see what you're saying, but where'd you get that from?
Oh, I just thought about it.
Okay,
I just
okay.
figured
So
that out in
like,
my
right,
head.
you feel you okay, people talk about themselves as the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
When somebody comes to me, they're like, yo, bro, like I need to network with other people. And I'm just like, well, if you need to network with other people, how are they going to network with you? What do you have to network with? And they're like, oh, well, I don't. Because how are you going to connect a dot with a dot if you don't have a dot?
Right. I
You
see
just
what
got
you're
a line.
saying.
So
You're
if
the
you,
line,
right,
right.
so if you don't have a dot, nobody's going to want to go line up with you.
Say again.
If you don't have a dot, nobody's gonna want to line up with you because you don't have nothing to network with.
Wow. You're getting into your business and it's not really feeling how you thought it would feel. Sometimes it feels like you just need somebody to throw ideas back and forth with, somebody to talk about a whole plan, something for marketing or branding, some type of strategy, put something together and execute on it. If you are feeling these type of things, you need to make sure you hit up Crystal Visions. All of your branding, content, marketing, and everything in between. They will sit you down and make sure you got it right. Again, hit up Crystal Visions. That's Crystal VZNS on Instagram. Back to the episode. What's going on, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Crystal Visions podcast, aka the Creatives Playbook podcast. Man, we still figuring out the name and all that, but you know what I'm saying, we gonna get there. But yeah, definitely presented by Crystal Vision, man. In this podcast, you already know what's going on, man. We try to help creatives find and monetize off of their talents, their skills, their passions, and everything in between, man. So today is no different, man. We got somebody that is well versed in a few things. You know, I've been checking out his page. I wanted to make sure we get him a nice little spot on the channel, man. So welcome out, Smooth2k. What's going on with you, big dog?
Appreciate you for having me.
For sure, man. So yeah, to tell the people, you know what I'm saying, how I found Smooth2k. You know, I was just, you know, looking. I'm always looking. First of all, I'm always looking for creatives in general. And to tell you like a little bit about Crystal Visions too is, you know what I'm saying, I just want to have like this creative like circle. Like sometimes I'd be talking to people, I'd be like, yo, it's like the Avengers, you know what I'm saying? Like we're going to come through, we're going to assemble and, you know, do X, Y, Z, whatever that is. And so haven't figured out the whole, you know, the end goal or whatever, but I'm seeing that through. But so yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking for people. And, you know, I come across you and the biggest thing I was seeing was the music videos. That's what really, you know what I'm saying, caught my eyes. So, you know what I'm saying, you got your music videos that you got going on. You know what I'm saying, I see that you had even, you know, a clothing line and stuff like that. You had, what was it called, the Smooth Studio with the music videos. And then also, like we was just talking about, you know, you rap, you produce, stuff like that. So I was like, dang, okay, you know, maybe he might have some say, you know what I'm saying, some gems to drop on the channel, you know what I'm saying, for the people. So go ahead, introduce yourself to the people for someone who has never heard of you.
Yeah, I go by the name Smooth, well-versed creative. I just be doing a whole bunch of stuff like you said. Like I do music videos. I've been into rap. I rap. I produce as well, take pictures and everything. Really what I mainly do is graphic design. Everything as far as like cover arts, logos, digital design, making websites, all of that. So yeah, I just be tapping into everything because there's money everywhere. So
Nah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And so with all those things, like, um, do you do all of those things for yourself for the most part, or have you tapped in with other people, like in terms of the full package that you do, that you offer, like you said, website, this, that, that,
yeah,
like,
yeah, I don't. I do them for myself because I have the skill, but really I'm a commission based businessman. So everybody that come to me looking for work, they get it. So that's why I mainly do all the stuff that I do. So that way, I always market myself as like a one stop shop. So like whatever it is that you need, I can get it to you. So
right, yeah. So yeah, if somebody was to, come to you, you would say that's those are all those services, like you'll provide, like, oh yeah, I'm ready, like whatever you need, I got it for you.
well, that's not a well. I don't think that's a good way to market because it's funny because it's also a paradox. You being a one-stop shop can also like deter people away from you, but what helps is doing things one by one, and that's where the package comes into play and stuff like that. Because you do have to do things one by one because you're not gonna record a music video before your song, before you make a song.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I do make music videos before you have a song. So like if you want, we could record a song, I could engineer the song for you, and then after you like the song, and when your head is like, oh well, damn, I need a music video now. I'm like, oh well, by the way, I do make music videos because you're not gonna leave my services if I did good step one. You're gonna want to go to step two. So that's how I market it. But like I don't really like to like push people into like all the stuff that I do because that could be like a deterrent for real.
Yeah, nah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of, what we was talking about earlier. Like, like when you do everything, what I'm saying. Sometimes it's hard to, pick and choose.
Yeah,
And so,
exactly.
so if somebody was to come to you originally, what would be? It would be engineering. What would be like your first? For the I'm sure people might come for different little things,
Yeah.
but for the most part.
For the most part, it really starts off. It depends on the stages in the career that the artist or whoever that they are coming in for work, they come to me at. So it might be some artists that are well rounded already, and they just really just need a cover because they see me do a nice cover for somebody else, and then after I do a cover for them, they're like, oh well, do you do this? Like let's say, do you do motion covers? I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. And then they're like, all right, let's lock in. And then they're like, well, damn, I see you just dropped a music video. You do music videos? Like, oh, the videographer that did my last video, he not available right now. You trying to do it? I'm like, yeah. And boy, I just took his spot because I'm gonna do it better than the last person. And then he's like, well, damn, like, what else can you do? And then we just gonna keep building from there. But there's some other people that they just starting out, and they're like, man, I don't even got a song out. And I'm like, well, I can help you make the song. I can help you mix it. And I can help you put it out, like the marketing aspect of it. And then we can worry about the rest later because we just not starting out. So it really just depends on the clientele.
Okay. So, so you really working heavy in the music business and music people.
Yeah,
and stuff
the music
like that.
business. It's a lot of money there because artists need a lot of things. And for the most part, the typical artist doesn't know how to do none of those things.
Right,
so
right. They just got the
gonna have to
talent
outsource. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We're gonna get into, how you even started touching base on these things, but throw me back a little bit to, small smooth, little smooth, like
small smooth.
small smooth. Like, what are kind of those things, like what's your earliest memory of, being somebody that is creative or in a creative space and stuff like that?
Well, I've always been into music because, like, my mom always tell me, like, when she was having me, well, she would sing to me when I was in her belly and stuff.
Okay.
But also when I was born, before she would take me to sleep and stuff, she would take me a shower and stuff, and then she would sing to me to go to sleep.
But said from the womb.
Yeah, from the womb I was on. And then, like, that's how I could start singing and develop singing stuff. But really what it was is I started playing the piano when I was 8, since I was 8.
Okay.
So, like, I played for the church and all this extra stuff. So music was really like tied in with me, and then that's where the producing came into play, because I'm like, if I'm making like songs on the piano, I can definitely make it on FL Studio. And then that's how I started making beats, and then so on and so forth. Like I started getting into graphic design because I needed covers for the beats. And then like after that I was like, well dang, coming into high school I was like, I definitely want to make my own clothes, because the clothes that I seen in the stores at the time I wasn't really rocking with. So that's how I started making clothes. And then like I was like, dang, well, how am I gonna market those clothes? So I started taking pictures by myself. And then like I was just like, well, dang, how am I gonna put these clothes out? And then that's how I started figuring out how to make websites.
Wow, sheesh. So my boy done touching that. So what is like the time period of this span? You know what I'm saying? Like going from one by one and picking up all of these things.
So I like to say that everything started, not everything, but for the most part, officially things started rolling my freshman year, because I had a wider audience. Like I was making beats in middle school, but nobody was rapping in middle school for real.
Okay.
So I was making little beats and stuff. It wasn't until my freshman year that I got a chance to like hop on the FL Studio, like the real version.
Wait, hold on, no, bro. You say you was making beats since middle school, bro?
Yeah, I was making beats in like 7th grade, 8th grade, cause I have a cousin that made beats too, and we just used to like lock in and stuff.
Wow.
And then but I wasn't really releasing them. It was just like, oh, it was something I could do because I play the piano. So I was like, the chords that I know how to make on the piano, I was just putting them on the software. But I wasn't really releasing it because it was like a trial version type stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, like I got like a cracked version of FL Studio. I was like, oh yeah, I'm locking in now.
Right.
So yeah, that's how that started. So like really just 2015, my freshman year, like a lot of stuff started rolling.
Wow. So, yeah. So, what would you say? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's someone, you know what I'm saying, that's young like that out there, that they have like all these type of ideas, but you know, I feel like it's very accessible. You know, before I even say what I'm about to say, I feel like on the flip side, it's very accessible to do these things that we can do. You know what I'm saying? Like a 7th grader making beats, you know what I'm saying, 20 years ago, that might not be a thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I guess, you know, with that knowledge and with that experience that you have from way back when, you know what I'm saying, how can you talk to somebody that is maybe in that spot that's like, oh man, like, you know I play piano and I like da da da, but how do I connect the dots? You get what I'm saying?
So it can't be forced, definitely, because forceful business ventures lead to a lot of failures, because you're not there mentally and you're not there like with your heart. So but a lot of what I usually say is to solve a problem, whether it's like the world's problem or your problem. And that's exactly what I did. I solved my own problems. Like I didn't want to outsource or commission somebody else for the stuff that I needed to get done. So instead of like sitting around waiting for somebody else, I just decided to do it myself. So the connecting of the dots is the problem itself. Like if you got a problem, you have two routes. It's either you let somebody else resolve it, or you resolve it yourself. And if you care that much to resolve it yourself, that's where the heart comes in, because if you don't get it done, you're gonna feel away. So that's where you know that you really want to do something. You know, you're passionate about it.
Dang, yeah, that's tough right there, because you know what I'm saying, like I feel like, just like you say, sometimes we get caught up, especially now, you know what I'm saying, when you're older, right? You got bills to pay, you got this, you got that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you trying to make a quick buck, you feel what I'm saying? You gotta eat, you gotta live. And so, you know, doing that versus doing XYZ with your passions, I feel like sometimes we can get, you know, that disconnected, you know, from, you know, what our heart is telling us we want to do. What we've been known since, like you said, you was doing it at 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? Somebody maybe 10, somebody maybe 6, whatever, right? They can throw it back to, nah, I've been wanting to do this, but now how do we, again, you know what I'm saying, connect those dots? So I think that was good, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, you got to solve that problem, and all of us, I'm sure, have come to that space of, okay, I'm here, but now what? You know, now I have the problem, now I gotta solve it.
And a lot of people, they try to get into things a little too late, because there's beauty in adolescence because just like you said, the bills, we don't have them at the time. So when I was making beats and like at 12, 13, I wasn't thinking about making money off of them. I was just throwing it on SoundCloud and like trying to listen to them, like showing my friends and stuff that I made this beat, because the same way you listening to other beats, you're like, damn, this beat is hard. Metro made this beat. That's crazy. He's so hard. I wanted to have that experience for myself because I knew I could make it too, you know. But I wasn't thinking about like an artist hopping on my beat. I was really just like, you know, playing the beats for myself in my headphones and stuff when I wanted to. But then, as you grow, since your passion is there, you're gonna get better. And then that's when you start to do the marketing and you start to be like, hey, you know, I can actually make money off of this. And then you do make money off of it, but that doesn't mean you're not passionate about it, because a lot of people, like, they start right there. They're like, you know, I need money, so I'm going to make beats for this. And then that's where the passion doesn't come into play. So, yeah, like, I started early, but I don't know. Like you said, when you start to have bills and stuff like that, it's hard to like stay passionate about it. But I mean, I feel like if you're really passionate about it, then you can start off small and then build, you know, because you can still have a career, start up a career while also, you know, like trying to build a career with something else. You know, that's why a lot of people like have jobs and then like do something like they want to do before they, you know.
Right. So how, like you said, your cousin kind of was doing beats. So he was older than you, your cousin?
Nah, we like the same age, yeah.
So, cause I figured he was older than you, and you know what I'm saying, he already in high school or whatever, and he making beats, but now y'all the same age. So, I guess how did y'all connect that dot to be like, all right, we're gonna make a beat? You get what I'm saying? Like at that age, at such a young age.
So like, it's actually a funny story. Like, so my 7th grade year, he moved to my middle school.
Okay.
And then I don't want to say he was getting bullied, but he wasn't established. You know how that be in middle school. Like, you know, they don't know you. You don't got no credibility.
Right.
And I was pretty established. I had some sort of credibility or a say so. So I was like, hey, just chill. That's my man's. So that's how we started locking in. Like, I had to be a little bit closer to him because until he got established and figured out things out. And it just so happened that before he had moved, like, he was like touching base on like the music production and stuff like that, and he had like little packs and stuff that the producers be dropping, like, you know, the beat packs and the sound packs and stuff like that. I was like, yo, you got sound packs?
Where he got them from?
Hey man, I don't even know. But he had them. I was just like, damn, that's crazy, because at the time, like I said, I was just like messing with the trial version of softwares that are online, like no FL Studio, no nothing. So to have like sound packs of official like beat producers,
right,
like to work with, I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then like that's how we started locking in, like playing around, because it's so funny. We made a great team because he's not really good with melody. He wasn't really good with melody, but obviously I'm good with melody if I know how to play the piano. So I was like putting melodies together, and I just shoot it off to him, and he throw the drums in there, and we was just going crazy like that. Yeah. And then it just so happened we both just got better. So that's how we would have moved up.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Shout out to my boy Mario. That's kind of how it is. Like me and my dog, we used to do that, but we old. I mean, not old, but like we was in, I think it was senior year. Senior year is when we really locked in of high school, and then that was that same type of thing. You know what I'm saying? One, we started making beats together. One would make the melody, shoot at them, and one make drums or whatever. Yeah. So a little partnership like that. Yeah, like them boys was doing that 7th grade, but I was in 12th grade, but that's crazy. So so you went to school and all of that in West Palm?
No, I went to school in Delray.
Okay, Delray beat. Okay. Yeah, it's still far, but yeah. I was gonna be like, yeah, what's good? I wouldn't even know. Yeah. But yeah, okay. And then what year you graduated from high school?
I graduated in 2019.
19. Dang. So that's not too. So how old are you right now? You're
I'm
like
21.
21. Yeah.
What year you graduated?
16. So I'm old. I feel old, bro. I'm like 24. I'm about to turn 24. But anyway, all right. So back to the story, right? So okay, so you got your cousin, y'all boys making beats. Now talk about transitioning that into high school? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you started. So you were selling beats in high school,
Um,
or it was just
kinda. I
like,
was selling beats in high school, but like I wasn't focused on it, if that makes sense.
okay,
Cause I was
yeah,
still passionate about it, and I didn't really see that I could make money from it.
okay,
But you know, there was some artists here and there that just wanted my beats, you know. But at that time, the space and the beat making area was not really like into selling beats. They was more so just trying to steal them. Because if you remember, um, 2015, well, 2015, 2016 is like the like XXX, Lil Uzi,
mm-hmm,
the Playboy Cardi era and stuff like that. And those wasn't the beats I was making.
okay,
But the beats I was making, they was selling to like lower audiences that didn't really have no buzz. So they didn't have no, they weren't enticed to buying the beat, because what do they need to buy the beat for if they
right,
just gonna post it on SoundCloud for no money?
yeah,
So
that makes
that's what
sense.
was really going on. But like I did get a couple artists here and there that did buy my beats, but I wasn't profitable though. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't
Mm.
profitable.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So still out of the love, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
making beats. And so you would say like I was gonna say that's your first, but piano probably you would say like your first love, you know what I'm saying, in terms of creative stuff.
yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying, now we get into making beats. And so how does that evolve into that next step of, like you said, like making the covers and then later down music video? Or no, next was the clothing and then music video, or how? Yeah,
Well, I'm just now getting into like make music videos
I
because
got
the
you.
need is there.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, so
Okay,
but I really the next step chronologically I definitely say was making clothes,
okay.
because I launched my clothing brand April 20th, 2016.
So you were still in high school.
Yeah,
You nice,
I
but
was still in high school.
so hold on, hold on. So yeah, go ahead. Talk about that. How did that go?
So basically, uh leading into high school, I was trying to figure out like, okay, so my middle school, we didn't have no. We had a what do you call it? Dress code. We had a
Okay,
dress code in middle school, so I had no crazy clothes to rock. I had no drip, nothing.
okay,
So then when it came to high school, it was no dress code. So I was like, damn, like, I can't really just rock the middle school clothes. Like I have to get all new wardrobe, everything. So I was like, trying to going to the stores and whatnot, trying to get the clothes. And at the time, like my peoples wasn't really like supporting, because things is hard out here
of
for
course,
real.
yeah.
So, but they tried to get me stuff, but the stuff that they was trying to get me, they wasn't really rocking.
Mm.
Like stuff from Marshall, stuff from Ross, stuff like that. They
Mm.
wasn't really, not saying it was nothing wrong with Ross, but like they just didn't have the drip.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they upgraded now.
Yeah,
Like
they
and
upgraded
now
now,
you can find some stuff, but back
but
then, nah, I know
not
exactly what you're
exactly.
saying. Yeah,
So like, cause I wasn't finna rock no Rockaware. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not rocking that.
yeah.
And so I was like, I really could make my own stuff for real, for real. And I said it like, because everybody
Tricky.
could say that. But then when I really like sat back and thought about it, I was like, bro, I really could make my own stuff. So then, coming in, I was like, all right, I put a team together. A couple of my friends, we was like, hey, obviously I can't do this myself. So let's have somebody, uh, touch base with everything. And then boom, we was just gonna start from there. And then I made a couple pieces when we launched, and then we just had like high school rocking from there.
Dang. So talk on that, like the importance of having that team established, and having everybody have an assignment, a job, like shut your peoples out, and then talk about how important that was to the execution.
But yeah, man, shout out Fritz, shout out Merc, shout out Shelb, shout out Maud, shout out Josh, shout out all my homeboys that helped.
Big group, man.
Because everybody had a big role to play, but all of their roles were very important. Like take one of them out of the equation, it wouldn't have been good. So, but yeah, it's important to have a team, because at that early stage you can't do everything yourself, because you're so hyped, you're so anxious, like you gonna miss out on something. Because like I tell people this now, like a lot of mistakes that people make is they focus on one thing. Like you might have all the best looking clothes in the world, but you don't have no good marketing. Or you might know how to sell, but you don't have nowhere to sell it at. Like you don't have no website. Or you might have a website, but you don't have good clothes. You know, so that's why we try to spread out the important roles to everybody, even though everybody could essentially do it. But we try to like work together as a team to like keep going forward, and that's exactly what we did. So having the team is very important. To success for real, because everybody also like, you know, look out for each other and see if everybody doing the right things and whatnot, especially when money involved too. You just can't really be handling all that stuff yourself for real.
Yeah, nah, so get into, because I didn't even think, you know what I'm saying, y'all making money, y'all profiting, blah blah blah. So how did that go? Like, especially, you know what I'm saying, high school, you know what I'm saying, breaking bread, like, you know, it could get crazy sometimes. So how did that go with you and your homies?
The best way I could explain it is, so we had this one collection that we dropped. It was a tie-dye collection. I feel like that was one of our best-selling collections in high school because the marketing aspect of it was genius. It definitely was my idea, but the reason why I thought it was genius because the school at the time that we dropped it, the day we dropped it or the week we dropped it, they was having a tie-dye day. So everybody needed a tie-dye shirt. And then lo and behold, we was rocking at the time, so we like, hey, we got a whole variety of tie-dye shirts that you could wear this day and every day after that, because it's a hard shirt. Because let's be honest, who wears tie-dye shirts like outside of a theme? Yeah. Nobody really does for real. And because the tie-dye shirts be like California Sun or like some BS like that.
Yeah.
So
you were saying that yours was that caliber of you could rock it that day, but you gonna want to rock it afterwards too.
It was stylish, but it also fit a theme that you want to get into, and that theme just so happened to be tie-dye, which so happened to be the shirt that we were selling. So we had it was like a tie-dye day, and then we had I had a backpack full of different colored tie-dye shirts, and then like I was just trapping it out to school that day. But I say that to say this. Sorry. All my homeboys, we didn't have all the same classes. Okay. So that's where the reach gets into play. And that's where a team gets into play too. For example, one of my homeboys was in like a higher classes, like an IB level class. A couple of my other homeboys was in this building. Another of my homeboys was in that building. But every building wants a sauce tie-dye shirt. So I can't be in every building. So it's like, hey, yo, Smooth, I need a small in this shirt. Pull up to building so-and-so. And it's like, hey, Smooth, I got this, and that. You feel me? So then at the end of the day, we come together. We had counted up the money and stuff like that. And that's how the splits came and stuff like that. So really, if I didn't have no team, I wouldn't have made as much profit as I did. Because everybody, like, they kind of like help reach their niche or their yeah, exactly. So shout out to them, and like that was a great experience, and that really like showed us that how our reach can definitely like be a unison way of getting more money.
Right. So with that too, I'm gonna jump forward, come back. You still do XYZ with them boys too, like with the music stuff that you got going on now, or is it like, you know, it's playing out a little bit different?
Oh yeah, it playing out a little bit different because they all do their own thing. You know, like some of them sell shoes, other people they are into like more marketing aspects of stuff, or some of them they build apps and websites and things like that. So we all in our own space. Like I'm the only artist, you know, / creator. So we all do our own little things though, but we all help each other out in those things because we all know how to do different things because we still homies at the end of the day. So yeah.
Yeah, that's solid, man. So putting everybody together, you know what I'm saying, coming back with a bag. So what was the name of the clothing?
Sauce Supply.
Okay, so it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Okay. So we had Sauce Supply giving out the tie-dye shirts back in the day. Everybody was sliding on those. And in terms of, you know what I'm saying, next steps for y'all in the group. What how did y'all keep going? So you was a sophomore? You was a senior by then? Where was you at?
No, I was a sophomore, I think. If I wasn't, if I was a sophomore, I was a junior.
Okay.
It was one of those. It was so long ago.
Yeah. And then how did that escalate to your next steps?
So the more money we got, the more collections we would drop and whatnot, the more like knowledgeable we got. But as for me, that was also a space when I started getting into photography, and I started like doing photo shoots for people and stuff because I needed to for my own brand. But then I started to like do it for other people. But what really got it was when I was editing the pictures, and I realized like I could do other stuff with Photoshop. Like I could figure things out as far as my beats. Like I told you earlier, I was like making covers for the beats to post on YouTube. I was like, damn, this is cool. And that's how I started getting better with the graphic design in the first place. And then it just so happened that artist was like, hey, yo, you can make covers too? And I was like, well, shit, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
And then, I started making covers, started making flyers for promoters too. There were some promoters that I knew. They was like, yeah, man, I need some. It don't even have to be the best. Like, that just needs something. Cause I don't know how, but promoters be on that. Yeah. Like they need flyers ASAP.
Just quick.
Every week. So I was making a residual money.
So you had locked it. Like, was it like a deal, or was it like a deal like?
Yeah, it's like a verbal like handshake deal. Like, hey, I'm throwing parties. And I need flyers, and if you can push it out to me, I'm gonna give you the bread. Like, we gonna lock in type stuff.
Wow.
And the same thing goes for like artists too. Some artists, when artists lock in with you, they never want to like go to somebody else, especially if you providing them good work at a timely manner with a good price. They gonna definitely will lock in with you. So I started building my connections early, especially considering I had a clothing brand, so I was starting to know people and stuff. So that's how I started.
Yeah, talk more on that, like you said, the connections, building your list, building your clientele for, whatever creative space. So first of all, how do you get those people, and then, give advice to somebody who needs to, network in that way?
Yeah, so when people ask me about like how do you network and whatnot, I feel like they go about it wrong, because networking starts at a point. For example, if we're talking about it on the internet, like, those graphics that you see, like the dots connect to each other. A lot of people don't realize that the dot is the network as well. So you are also somebody that can be connected through someone else, if that makes sense.
Okay, hold on. Throw the dots back.
What? So
like figuratively speaking, connected the dots?
No, those those pictures or those graphics like of the globe, and then they have like different dots everywhere, and then everything connects to each other.
Okay.
To symbolize networking.
I got you.
A lot of people, they don't think of themselves as the dot. They think of themselves as the line to somebody else's dot to network.
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. I see what you're saying, but where'd you get that from?
I just thought about it.
Okay.
I just figured that out in my head.
Right, you okay, people talk about themselves as the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more of a metaphorical speaker. Like, I like to visually show things inside people's heads so they can see it, and they can picture it in their heads. But it makes perfect sense, because when somebody comes to me, they're like, yo, bro, like I need to network with other people. And I'm just like, well, if you need to network with other people, how are they going to network with you? What do you have to network with? And they're like, oh, well, I don't, because how are you going to connect a dot with a dot if you don't have a dot?
Right.
You just got a line.
You're the line, right?
Right. So if you don't have a dot, nobody's going to want to go line up with you.
Say that again.
If you don't have a dot, nobody's going to want to line up with you because you don't have nothing to network with.
Wow.
So the best way I could tell them is establish what you can do. Establish what you can provide for others, or what you can help others do, and then transact something else from them. To lead it back to me, like yes, I know how to, make covers and whatnot, but hey, I might need, for example, a party promoter. I mean, let's just say I need like to perform somewhere, or I need something at the club. I'll make the cover for you, but can you do me a favor and like throw me in the club one time so I could, build my brand up? You feel me? The person is never gonna take that offer if I don't know how to make the cover for them, because I'm not. He feel like he getting taken advantage of. So my best advice for people is to figure out what you can do for others before reaching out for others for something that they can do for you.
That's heavy. You're sitting here, you're listening to this podcast episode, and you're thinking, man, I really wish I could partner with a podcast. If you feel like you would be able to add value to the people who might listen to a podcast like this, aka somebody like you, since you're here, then make sure you hit up Crystal Visions, Crystal VZNS. Hit us up right in the DMs. This is very early in the game. You are taking a nice investment right now in this early podcast. And as we grow, I can't promise you that the prices are going to be the same. So make sure you lock in your prices with me right now. Let's get back to the episode. So just like you were saying, right? Right. So if I wanted to make the Avengers, right? Like you got to be, right? Captain America or Iron Man or whatever, right? And like they all have their own joint. They all had their own movie first.
Right.
They all had, not Scott, the girl.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? They all had their own movie first. They all did their own thing first. They are the dot. And just like you said, people want to be like, yo, I want to connect with people. And a connection is the line. So they want to be the line, but they have to realize that they have to have a service to line up. That's crazy. That's a great visual, bro. Like my mind is going crazy right now.
And going back to your example too, imagine if they didn't start with Iron Man in 2008 to start off the MCU lineup, and they start off with the Avengers. Nobody's gonna have no ties to the Avengers because they don't know who they are.
That's fun. That's great especially because the first Avengers wasn't that good. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of movie, but everybody was like, and it was like the biggest whatever, right? Like, but the actual movie wasn't that good. But it was the Avengers, and just like you said, everybody had ties to Captain America, Iron Man, this, that, So.
Yeah, cause in 2008 when Iron Man came about, they established what he can and he can't do, his personality, his characteristics, and his traits. So now leading up to the Avengers, when we're watching the Avengers, we're like, oh, this is that's definitely something Iron Man would have done. Or like, man, that man he always doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or he's like, yo, this man, can't he do this?
Right.
Or like, can't he just shoot a beam or something like that? But if we're looking at Widow or Red Fox or whatever his name is, or like the Hulk. Well, everybody knew who the Hulk was.
Yeah. Hulk had a movie, but it was just really,
it was like back in the day. Yeah, I remember. Or whoever is in the MCU, they're gonna be like, what can she do, or what can he do for real? And like, or when they see them do something crazy, like what?
Right.
They're not expecting it, because there was no prerequisite to their powers or to their characteristic traits. You just essentially seen a stranger do what they're doing, so that's why like the movie was like critically acclaimed. But then after, when they started building their characteristics and their personalities in different movies, now when we come back together in like the Avengers of that one with Thanos and stuff like that, everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody's working together, and everybody understands. Yeah, it's a built up. So if it wasn't for those dots, the line could never be the network.
Wow. Nah, that's heavy. This episode gonna be connecting the Avengers to business, something like that. Nah, that's heavy though. Okay. All right. So yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So now boom, right? Like putting everybody together for me on my side, right? Now this is it. You know what I'm saying? Right here, right? Because just like you said, if you have nothing to provide on your side, then just like you said, the other person's going to be like, you're just using me. Like, what do I get from this? I get a promise note. You know what I'm saying? I get an IOU. Like, like I don't know you like that to be taking that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Now, okay, I have this. You have this. Let's get together. Let's boo. Okay, that's great. All right, man. I don't even remember where we was at because that was good. That was a good one. So okay, you said that you is now making covers. Now you're making covers for other people. Now you locking in, getting deals with other people. You know what I'm saying, for the covers. Continue to take me. You know what I'm saying, to how we get to where you at today.
So really after that, that's just the beginning of my career. Like started building connections with other people because at that time, I really did have a vision though, because I felt like once I got into graphic design, I realized graphic design is everywhere, but nobody really thinks of it like that. Nobody understands that graphic design is what is the interface that you're seeing every single day. Like we're on Instagram and we're seeing like flyers, or we're seeing graphics about different things, but we're not really understanding that there's somebody behind that, and there's an artistic direction that's leading towards you looking at it and be like, oh, that's dope.
Go deeper into that, because that I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Just like you said, like everything is graphic design, how you put it, but I put it as everything is art. Everything has to be, like you said, constructed, created. Everything has to be thought of first before this building. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, like a camera, like somebody has to think about the intricacies of it. And map it out in their head before you can even just start putting screws together or whatever the case may be. So yeah, like I said, go deeper into that, into how you see that.
Yeah, so now that I think about it, I feel like it's not people's faults, because it was never like that originally. Because when I look at it for, let's just say, covers, statistically, or historically, when we're looking at covers back in the day, let's just say like a Jay-Z cover, or that's a perfect example. For you a Jay-Z fan? Okay, well, let's just say when he dropped Reasonable Doubt or the Black Album, or what all the albums that he made or whatever, they were really just like pictures of him. Like it was a set, it was a photographer. They had like, I remember one of his covers, like he got like a cigar in his mouth with the fedora, and then like a suit. And then he was like, that was the picture, or that was the cover art, right? But let's fast forward to 2016 when he dropped 444.
That was completely different.
Completely different. It's just a backdrop of a peach color with 444 as the text, and then that was it. That's a huge difference. There's no picture or nothing. You literally had to create that on a computer. But nobody's thinking that, because nobody likes to think of change, because change is every single day. But you don't really think about change because you're trying to live in the present. You know, so I don't blame people. But as far as your question, I feel like, well, as far as me, I didn't really see it as, let me take that back. I seen it as a change that everybody was going to get into, because everything is getting digital now, and all of the graphics that people see and whatnot, they had to be created. And just like how you said, like that camera that we're using, nobody just said, okay, it's going to be boxy and it's going to be this diameter. Like you had to literally go on the computer and figure out if it worked or not, you know. But nobody thinks about it like that. But me, I definitely like had the vision to see that graphic design and like artistry was definitely going to take over, and all of the stuff that I was doing at that time was going to be bigger than what it was, because it had the potential to be big. It was already big, but coincidentally, like let's just say COVID opened everybody's eyes to that, and there was like, whoa, this is crazy, because nobody was outside and everybody was where? On the internet. And the internet is content. How do you make content? Photography, graphic design, production, music production, all this stuff that I just so happen to have been doing for the longest time, and now here I am capitalizing off of it. So yeah, I've been had the plan, but nobody was really understanding, because they was in the now. You know, they was living in the life that they thought that was going through, and they wasn't really like understanding how that life that they was living in was getting constructed. So yeah.
So talk on that, like seeing the future like that, because that's crazy. Like you like out here like prophesying. You like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like I know this is gonna be crazy, and then you know what I'm saying, you graduated 2019, and then 2020 That's COVID. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
December 2019, right? Like that was it. Shut down, and now everybody needs, you know what I'm saying, them services that you've been stacking up on. So talk about, you know what I'm saying, being in that area, you know, people not really understanding, you know, if you were to go back or if you were to tell somebody else who's in that space, like, nah, this is the one, bro, like I see it, but like people not understanding, like, how do you push through? How do you continue in your own lane?
I'd say first the passion, because even though there was a vision behind it, there was definitely a passion behind it. So I can't really take up all the credit as far as understanding that this is the next step, because I was already passionate about things. But the second step would definitely just be consistency, because out of consistency you understand things more, and out of understanding things more you realize where things would go. You know, uh, if every day I'm working on something in graphic design, or I'm on Photoshop, or I'm on FL Studio, I'm realizing where the sound or where the artistry is going, because I'm on it every single day. As a matter of fact, I'm routing it in the sense to where it's going because I'm a part of it. So me realizing that this is where this is going, I'm like, hey, like this is what we need to be hopping on, because this is where the market is going right now. But in fairness, the people that are not in the atmosphere, they're not understanding that because they don't know. For example, if you're not in the stocks, you're never going to know that the market is going up or the market is going down because you're not in it. So if I'm telling you, listen, bro, you need to hop on to cryptocurrency, bro, you're going to be like, that cryptocurrency jazz smash, I don't know nothing about it, and I don't care, because you're not inside of it, you know? So I can't really fault other people. But as for me, I feel like you just have to be consistent in what it is you're doing, or try to learn more about other people and be open-minded to what people are telling you, because if they're telling you about it, that means there's some pre-existing research that they had to do in order for them to tell you something like that.
So that makes me think as well, like being in the space, right? But then also, like, I feel like everything that you've been putting together so far, a lot of things that you talk about is, you know what I'm saying, marketing, and you know, the how the market is running and stuff like that. So talk on, I don't know if you've ever like sat down and thought about this, or if it's completely natural to you, but talk on like having an eye for what the market is in general, marketing in general. Because I'll say this, sometimes I feel like as an artist you could kind of put your head down and just, this is my craft, I'm doing XYZ, and then, you know, I can speak for myself, especially sometimes for me, I be wanting to do it different for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I want to be different, I want to blah 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 blah, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's good, but sometimes you gotta really look around and be like, all right, bro, everybody's doing XYZ. I don't necessarily have to do that, but take that and take it to the next step. But anyway, question, what was the question? Question was, how do you keep your mind open to instead of keeping your head down, you know what I'm saying? How do you look up and around and compare without getting lost in the sauce? Yeah, and still doing it, yeah.
So that's a great question. And the best way I could put it is, like I said in the last thing, to be open minded, and to be in a lot of spaces that you don't know, because the unknown is the unknown. You don't know it. Even though that sounds redundant, it is what it is. If you don't know something, you're never gonna know when it's changing. You never want to know when it's working, when it's not, because you don't know. Just like kind of how I don't know what is behind me, for real. So I'm never gonna know if it's like $1 million or like a draft, because I don't know.
Okay.
That being said, in the reality, or in my reality, I was already tapped into a lot of things. So essentially, it was my job to be open minded. Oh, I can't, be closed spaced if I'm working with others that have wide ranges. So if my ideas are my ideas as well, but if I'm working with other people's ideas, I have to also understand their ideas and their points of view. And it just so happens that their points of view and their ideas are contributing to where things are going. So I'm just like, okay, well, like putting pieces together, working with other people, I'm realizing, okay, this is going here. And the best example I can give you is when I scroll through Instagram, I don't scroll through Instagram just for fun. Sometimes I like to see like what people are doing creatively. So like if you see a picture and you like oh, that was cool, I see an outfit, I see a space, I see a scenario, because that picture is historical. It has data. I sound like I'm Google, but but it does. It's true.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you another example within this example. You post this podcast, right?
Mm.
And somebody just like, oh wow, he just, he got a podcast going on. That's cool. But why are you posting this podcast? Would you have posted this podcast 5 years ago, say? No. Because, well, I can't say that for you, but what the odds of you posting a podcast now are higher than what it was 5 years ago, because podcasting is making a wave right now.
Right.
So now me seeing this, I'm like, yo, if he's doing podcasts, that means there's something in it for sure. Now I'm gonna do my own research to see, oh, okay, this is why he's doing this podcast, because there's some wave going around with the podcasting. Hey, maybe I could contribute to it. And boom, that's how that happens. Whereas a regular person would just be like, oh, okay, podcast. Or they'll be ignorant and they'll be like, man, everybody's doing a podcast.
That's what I be doing. Sometimes I be doing, everybody da-da-da-da. So I'm
but
not even.
You got to think, why is everybody doing it?
Right. There's a reason behind it.
Exactly.
Just like you said, like it's history.
Exactly.
Like you said before, whoa, it's kind of all connected. What you saying. Like you said before, people don't like change.
Nobody likes change.
But everything is changing every day.
Everything always changes every day.
And then now, when those things happen,
they're in the past.
It's gone. But not only that, like you said, me doing a podcast is because of the change of what's going on in the area.
Yes.
And sometimes you got to get on the way because you have to adapt with the change before it's too late.
Exactly.
That's kind of heavy.
Exactly. Everything is a market. Everything is always going to change. If I'm going to go back to the example that I made the example out of, Instagram.
Okay.
If you scrolling through and you see somebody wear like this, a piece or an outfit, right? And you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Why he wearing that? You're not being open-minded. Of course you have an opinion, but why did that person wear that outfit? Like, oh, for example, I remember there was an era where bucket hats were going crazy, or an era where fitted caps. Like, I have a brother, he 8 years older than me. Like when he graduated in 2010, and then like in the years leading up to that, he had like a collection of fitted caps. Like I'm talking about fitted caps and snapbacks and stuff. That when snapbacks was crazy.
Yeah.
So now, in that era, when you see if Instagram was around at that time, and he's seeing like somebody with like a trucker hat. Because trucker hats are the wave right now.
That's it right now.
So now, like, you see somebody with a trucker hat, he's like, bro, what is these kids doing? Like, it's snapbacks right now, bro. I'm never going to wear a trucker hat. So now here, let's just say that's his whole mentality. So now, in today's age, he's still stuck on snapbacks. And he's the one looking.
Now you look dumb.
Now he look dumb. He's like, bro, why are you wearing snapbacks, bro? It's truckers now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because change is always evolving. It's like a market. Nobody's going to put their money in when it's $1, and then when it goes to negative 50 or 50 cents, they're not going to keep their money in there because they know they're losing money. You have to adjust to the market in order to capitalize.
No, that's crazy. So that makes me think of, just like you said, like seeing something like you said, like you see somebody on Instagram, right? And you say, why are they wearing that? I've been thinking a lot lately on the reason we wear certain things in general, right? Whatever it is that you wear, that you put on, is repping something. You get what I'm saying? You want to show something about yourself, about you, whatever's in your brain, whatever you like, you want to show it, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got the dunks on,
Right.
You know
Perfect
what I'm saying?
example.
That you being trendy, you nice, da da da. You got that shirt, you know what I'm saying? That's where you come from. That's what you know what I'm saying? That's what you're repping. This my shirt, this my homeboy shirt. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm repping. I got Yeezys on. I like Kanye. I've been in the shoot. That's what I'm repping. So, but now, just like you said, now we see somebody else who's on a higher status, right, or whatever status they are. They're in a different atmosphere. It might not be higher, might not be lower, but they're in a different atmosphere. They're wearing something. They're repping something. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I don't know. The only name that I can think of right now is like Rick Owens, shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like if you were in a box, like you might look at some Rick Owens and be like, what is that? Like, why would you wear that? You know what I'm saying? But I'm rocking Rick, you know what I'm saying? To you don't know.
You're looking
Rick
at it
Owens.
like Converse.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Some chunky ass, you know what I'm saying? Converse,
yeah.
like, what is you doing? What are you wearing, bro? You know what I'm saying? But now, if you know Rick Owens, if you're in that space, you're like, bro, these are Rick Owens. You know what I'm saying? To you, you're repping that. To the person, other person, I don't really know what that is.
And
you know
then
what
to
I'm saying?
add on that, they're going to be naive and in the shadows about what you're wearing. But then when they realize that who Rick Owens is, what he represents, and how important that is, they're going to be in the light now.
Yeah.
So now,
like, I was asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So now they're going to be like, yo, he got that Rick Owens on to the next person. Now the next person that's in the shadows are like, bro, who is that?
What are y'all talking about?
Right. And then they're going to be like, you don't know Rick Owens? And he's going to put that person in the light. Now imagine this example expanded out. And that's how things change. So a lot of people are always in the shadows, but when they come to the light, that's when things change.
You got my brain going crazy, dog. I can't even cap, boy. So how long you been a philosopher for? You was always like this from middle school, from the beats?
Man, really it's just my dad. My dad, he majored in communications. He a journalist.
Okay, yeah.
So like that's the rhetoric that he speaks in metaphorically and stuff. He give a lot of examples. So I kind of really picked off on him. But I really like giving examples for realistic events, because everything that's realistic, there's an explanation behind it, you know, and there's a saying behind it, you know. That's how stories come into play, or that's how we learned in the first place. Well, if somebody believes in God or whatever, if somebody needs to explain something to you, they tell you a story so you can understand the object behind it, you know. And that's how I like to learn, and I like to teach, and you know, I like to give advice based off of like how your brain works.
Right. Nah, that's crazy. That's heavy. All right, so now take me to, you know what I'm saying, present day ish. You know what I'm saying? We're getting into music videos. That's our biggest market, you would say, like our main market that we're doing. So how do we get into that, and how do we make that our main market?
Okay, so firstly, to go back a little bit, the reason why I'm in the music video space is because I started rapping.
Okay.
Quick story about how I started rapping. It was actually by accident. It all ties back together to my real story, but of course it does. But I started rapping because one of my homies was trying to rap, and he wanted like me to produce the whole album, because I was focused on beats at the time. So I was like, all right, this is cool. Like, you know, my homeboy, I'm going to produce it, and I'm going to engineer him because I know how to do that too. So I'm all right, cool. Like, we're going to lock in. But long story short, he didn't have, I don't know. I feel like he didn't have the passion for it. He really just quit the first day. That's essentially what happened. And the story goes.
Wait, hold on. How long y'all been talking about it before y'all got in? And
he real spontaneous about it. Like we was all living together.
Okay.
And then he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I want to make an album."
Okay.
And I was like, bro, all right, let's lock
So
in.
you was like, where did I go? No, I guess you wasn't thinking where did I come from. You was like, this is my chance.
No. He writes like lyrics in his phone and stuff, but he never makes it into a song. Like he hard.
Yeah.
He have like crazy lyrics and whatnot. I'd be like, yo, this is dope. But he probably didn't necessarily have the flow. That's what it was. He didn't have a flow at the time. So then we went downstairs and we tried to make the album, but he didn't have the flow, and he got like annoyed, and he was like, man, forget this, man, I'm not making this song. But he left the lyrics to me. Like, he was just like, man, here you go. Because at the time I was telling him, nah, this is how you're supposed to say it. You're supposed to say it like this, da 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 da. And he was like, I can't even do it. So then I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll go upstairs, and then I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't let him quit like that. So I'm finna show him how it gets done, you know? So I took his lyrics and I put it on my beat, and then I like rapped it how it would have supposed to been sounded in the beat.
So it was like a reference track.
Yeah, a reference track, exactly. So then I sent it to the chat, and I was like, yo.
Everybody was like, whoa.
Whoa, this is actually good. Or like the flow is good, like, yo, you really could like flow. So I'm like, you know what, I can. And then push comes to shove, I decided to make an album in a week, just to see if I could do it, and I did. I made it in a week and a half, or 2 weeks really, because it took a week to record, it took a week to mix, and I put it out just to put it out, and then that was my first album, and then I started rolling from there. Now I'm pretty good. But I said all that to say, because I got good, like because the music started getting good, I was like, oh well, I mean, I need music videos now, but I can't. I mean, I know how to shoot music videos, but I can't shoot my own music videos. So then that leads up to helping other people learn how to shoot music videos and whatnot. So now I added a couple people to a team, so that way like they could shoot music videos for others, but really mainly to do it for me, But that was my biggest idea in the first place, to start Smooth Studios. That was always my my idea, to help others, because I have so much knowledge in different spaces where it's needed now, and a lot of people keep asking me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just start a business to where all of these skills are all in one, aka Smooth Studios, and then not only can people come in and get the skills or commission the skills that I have to them, but also learn the skills to commission to others. So that's how I got into the music video space. Like, in order for me to teach people, I have to do. So I do music videos to help others know how to make music videos, essentially.
Okay. Hold on. I got a few questions now. Hold on. All right. So, firstly, Smooth. Where does now you got me thinking? Where does the name Smooth come from? Like, origins of that.
So it's a funny coincidental story. So my brother used to call himself Smooth back in the day. Okay. Like, he called himself Smooth. So as a matter of fact, that was his Instagram name, like back when Instagram was like first starting. He was like, call me Smooth, literally.
Okay.
Or yeah, something like that. And then I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. And then when I got of age, like I said, he's 8 years older than me. When I got of age, like, have an Instagram, I was like, damn, what am I gonna, So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna bite off his name. I was like, some Smooth or whatever. But that was around middle school. So then around that time, I was in class or something like that, and then I said something like crazy. I really don't remember what I said, but my teacher was like, oh, you a smooth dude, huh? And then like my class started picking on me. It was like, oh, smooth, he's smooth, and it stuck. Yeah. And the funny thing is, that was like what I was trying to get my name to be. Like, it never was really intentional, but it fit. Yeah. And that's how I got my name. But yeah.
Okay. So now you take that and you just apply it to all of the things that you got going on. I got you. All right. So so now we got the studio. So like you said, so it's a team. The Smooth Studios is a team, or when you say you teach somebody, you say like they kind of go off and do their own thing, or they are part of Smooth Studios.
So, the whole structure of the business is essentially um a production team.
Right.
Um, it really could be me as the production team because, like I said, everything that the business specializes is I know how to do. So if I wanted to be like stubborn and if I wanted to, go off and do everything myself, that's what it could have been. Like, it could just been like a AKA under Smooth, like Smooth Studios.
Mm.
But that's not what I want to do. I want to be able to help others. So the people that do want to specialize in these types of skills, they can come and like work with me, and then after you could decide to work with me, or you can just go off with the skills that you was taught. But that's essentially what it is. But in its base, it is a media production that specializes in all the things that we said and aforementioned. So that's what it is. But there is a subsidiary to it, and where we try to help others learn the craft as well. Because, like I said, if I need the skills, or no, if I need the content that I'm producing, I can't really do it myself because I can't be behind the camera and do the videos myself. So I do need that aspect of the business. So yeah.
So, yeah, nah, hold on. You get me stuck again, bro. Hold on. So how did you get, so was it natural or was it a sit down thought? Because how you're explaining it to me, it's like, all right, boom, da 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 da. But how did we get to that structure? Was it just like, okay, like you said, like, yeah, I just need other people to do my music video, and then it like clicked to you like, oh snap, we can now throw this in? Or was it like, okay, I need other people to do my music video, so I'm gonna teach them, and then we could do. You get what I'm saying? Like, how natural was it versus planned, and then how do we mix that to make this final nice product that we have?
The nature of it starts from helping others.
Okay.
And the helping others stems from the skills that I already acquired.
Yeah.
So it's all really just a loop, or not a loop, but a full circle situation. Because, say, like I said, the networking, it's a networking thing. Mm-hmm. So if I have a skill, you need that skill. You're gonna be like, yo, you're dope. I really want to get into music production. How do I do these things? And you are humble and willing to learn enough to accept my advice and to walk around with me and see how I go about it. And then there's a specific time in that space where you're like, you know what, I really do want to make money off of this. I want to capitalize off of this, but I'm not gonna be able to do without your help, because you're teaching me along the way. Like, you're really like a right hand man to me as far as advice. So can we like work together? And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And then that we go from there. Mm-hmm. And that's why it sounds so smooth, no pun intended, when I'm telling it, because it's not business, it's more so helping. Okay. That is under a business,
Right. So in terms of business and like making money and stuff like that, how does that go with the people that you're working with? So I guess the real question would be, how do we determine who is, Smooth Studios versus, you're working under me right now, but then you still gonna break off and do your own thing? Obviously, like you said, you want to help people in general, so it's no beef, it's no whatever in that terms. But where's the decision factor? Is it on them? Is it on a contract? Is it on, how does that work?
Yeah, it's definitely contractual. At the end of the day, when you running a business, you running a business. But when you are running a business, you don't want to think that you're running a business, because that would essentially just mean that you're in it for the business side of it, and businesses are for certain things. So it's funny to say, but it is what it is. So the people that your first question, like, how would somebody make money off of that? the best way I can say it, well, I call it the PPP, not like the PPP that everybody knows.
No loan.
No loan, no loan. So the PPP stands for the pedestal something plan. I forget right now. But essentially what it is, it's me putting you on the pedestal, but the pedestal that I put you in is mine.
Oh.
So
Keep going.
at the end of the day, you can't grab onto something without that pedestal. And in order for you to grab it, you need that pedestal. And when you do grab it, I gotta take a piece of it too. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you set up? How do you set the pedestal up? And because just because you have the information, you have
exactly information, clientele, skill, equipment, things like that. Because the pedestal is essentially equipment. You can't get that job done without the equipment.
So these people come to you with basically nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
They just know.
They just have the yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
And you give them equipment. You let them shoot for somebody else, and whatever. So now you're like are you the director at that moment?
Exactly. But don't get confused. It's not also just music videos. It's everything else. It's audio engineering, music production. It's also graphic design. It's also music, video production. It's all things.
So talking to that because I get it for the music video. How would you be the pedestal or give the pedestal for graphic design?
Okay, so like I said in the beginning, graphic design is not it's forever learning. You're always learning. And there's a craft behind graphic design. So not everybody's gonna be able to make a great logo or visualize an idea for somebody as soon as they start. You know, typography is very important. Colors is very important. And skill in the software itself is very important. If I put a software in front of your face right now and I tell you make your logo, you won't be able to do it. But if I'm telling you, here, this is the logo. What do you have? What's the idea? What's your idea for the logo? You're gonna be like, well, you know, I want it to look like this. I'm like, well, you can do it by clicking that button and then clicking that button and then doing it like this. Well, don't do it like that. You can press this button and that button, and that'll help you do what you gotta do until you finally get there and make that idea. And then after you make that idea, I'm like, well, you remember I did help you. So even though you did it with your own hands, I was the director, like you said, and the director gets a cut too.
So you're
a facilitator of sorts,
right? So you're the creative director of that.
Yes.
Wow. All right. All right. So my joint going crazy right now, bro, because this is good. This is good stuff. I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like getting into in terms of finding those people, do those people come and find you, or are you in the market to going and finding them?
It's both. Because as a creative director and facilitator, you want to be able to attract, you know, but also being that creative director and facilitator, people attract you, or you attract people rather. So just like an artist, if Lil Baby is rocking right now, people want to sign under him. But he can also be an A&R and be like, yo, you're hard and you just don't know it yet, and we're gonna bring you in. Kind of like what Young Thug did for Lil Baby. I don't know if you know the story, but like Young Thug apparently paid Lil Baby to be in the studio or like something like that. And the funny thing too, like Lil Baby like paid Gunna to like write some bars so he can know how to flow.
Okay.
And some stuff like that. So Lil Baby was never supposed to be a rapper, but a facilitator like Young Thug was like, yo, you need to be a rapper because I see something in you. And then boom, it just so happens that Lil Baby not signed to YSL or anything like that, but that would have been a perfect example to show you like hey, you know, being a facilitator can be lucrative on both parts.
So you like a a young thug. Like you about to,
You have to
you about to,
pulling
you
strings.
about to pull all the strings, man. So talk about that. Talk about what's your real goal? What are you actually trying to get at with this whole thing?
Um, that's a good story. I mean, a good question. I would say to I want to be able to have a lot of people have a lot of skill, because it would help all of us together to make something big. Because as much as um Iron Man has all the boots and straps and whistles and stuff that he needs to fight crime, he'll need somebody like the Hulk to smash things and like pave the way, or he'll need somebody like oh wow, I can't even remember, like Captain America to throw his frisbee and like and do what he got to do. You know, everybody needs a team, and not everybody can do things themselves. Even if they can do it themselves, they shouldn't do it themselves. So that, I guess that's my purpose, to like have people be able to do things well and creatively, for their own ventures, and also for ventures that we decide to do together. You know, just like I said with the music videos, like I can't make my own music videos. I can edit them, but I can't like shoot my own music videos. That's impossible. So that's exactly what I want to get into. I want to be able to work with others by helping others.
So talk on that, like you said, like even if you can do everything yourself, you shouldn't, or you're not supposed to, or talk on somebody who might be in that space that either has all the ideas or has all the skills, and they know at some point I could do this all by myself. Why would they want to get a team?
So I'm actually contradicting myself when I say that, saying like you can't do everything yourself, because I do a lot of things myself. But to the person that wants to do everything themselves, they might have the idea, like I said, but they might not have the passion nor the skill. And the difference is they might not want to be able to get into those, or delve into those things that they lack, like skill. Somebody might have all the idea in the world, but they do not want to touch that computer, or they do not want to like work a couple hours on developing that idea, but they have that idea though. Kind of like a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter has the hardest bars, but they don't necessarily want to rap them, or that's not what they live in. So they reluctantly just give it away to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So even though you can do it, you don't do it for your greater good, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Man, tying everything up, man. Like you said, humility. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your place, and putting everything together so everybody can eat, man. That's I feel like that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, is there anything that you feel like I feel like we touched on a lot today, man. Is there anything that, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta say this, I gotta throw that in. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, like to uphold the people.
I'd say to stay consistent, because you're never gonna know that your it's working if you don't have data beforehand. So you're never gonna know that you were walking if you didn't see the footsteps behind you.
Hold on, say that again.
If you walking on the beach, you can only you know that you walking said miles because you've seen said footsteps behind you. So stay consistent, because one step is only one step, and if you just step on that one step, you're never gonna see the footstep under you unless you keep going forward.
Can't get stuck. Wow, man.
Consistency is key.
Nah, for sure. So, how we looking in the next 3 to 5 years for Smooth? You know what I'm saying? I know you in college, you got your thing going on. In terms of creatively, you know what I'm saying, what are the things that we can look forward to you putting together?
So my plans right now is to start to have my Smooth Studios become a like brick and mortar thing, so that way people can come in and literally have all of the opportunities and all of the things that they need in front of their face, instead of like facilitated them to. For example, like photography, like I would love to have a space where somebody can come in and shoot a video, or with recording, somebody can come in and have a studio space to work with. Everything just coming together, or like a podcasting thing where if somebody doesn't have the equipment but they have something to talk about, they can definitely come in and talk about it in my space. And that's what I'm working towards right now.
No, that's hard. I had another question. 3 to 5 years. It's not hitting me right now, man. Well, man, hopefully it does hit me in the next 10 seconds, but let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Man, you can find me on Instagram at Smooth2k. You can watch the videos that I've made at YouTube, Smooth with a $. You can find me on Twitter, HF Smooth. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
How can I work with you?
I'm just a DM away, honestly. Honestly.
No, but I mean, like you said, like, I guess a little bit more logistics of the, somebody's like, yo, I'm mad creative, blah, 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 like, and I know you got whatever you got going on. What are the services that you would be like, all right, boom, you know what I'm saying? You could shoot for me, you could do this for me, you could do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Pick your poison.
It all depends on what I see in you as far as the hunger. I'm not saying I'm looking for hungry people like I'm some type of A&R or something, or manager, but I'm just looking for somebody that's not gonna give up on themselves and what we're doing later on when the things get hard. Like, I want to be able to see essentially myself in them, like the passion or the willingness to learn, the humility to learn as well. And then we could talk about creativity, because not everybody can, do what they are set out to do. But essentially, just kind of like a good look at them and like a good talk, and then we can roll from there.
For sure. Man, well, y'all boys stay tuned for the Crystal Visions and Smooth Studios. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. I appreciate you for, coming through, chopping it up for me. This was a good one, man. I appreciate all that. If you made it this far, man, make sure you like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, blah, 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 make sure you give me 5 stars. Make sure you check out Crystal Visions, the podcast. Make sure you check out Crystal Visions on Instagram and TikTok as well. We working on that, man. And until the next time, we out.